Hey, man, this is Tommy Skio, and you're watching CMS TV.
It's Signal 30 right here on your Classic Metal Show with No Choice. And just before that, we heard Starblind with Tears of a Soldier, and that goes out to the veterans celebrating Veterans Day today.
Yes, like me, motherfuckers.
So I figured we'd have some faux Iron Maiden from Starblind to celebrate the day.
Dude, that is a great band. That is probably, would you say that's the best band that we've found since we started?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, they are as classic metal as classic metal can possibly be with that Iron Maiden sound.
Sure. No, definitely a good one, man.
Yeah, they definitely are a cross between Halloween and Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot.
And all the songs are solid.
Yep, everything. I'm liking the stuff, not to constantly promote one label over the other, but I like the stuff on Pure Steel Records. I feel bad that I never really listened to a ton of that stuff. I mean, I get the links every single week, from them, and they always release 2 or 3 things. And I'll be honest, I just kind of always ignored it, which I don't know why I did. Because I like listening to new stuff, but you know this, dude. We get overwhelmed with the amount of music we get pitched.
That is true.
And Pure Steel always releases a lot of music, like 2-3 releases a week in most weeks. So as dumb as this sounds, that makes it sound like it's probably lesser quality.
Yeah, you're skeptical.
Yeah. And I don't have time to download a 150 meg thing and put it in a folder and then go back and listen to it, and it's not on, or then take more time to upload it to my streaming players to listen to it on my phone. And it's like a lot of it gets ignored. But I swear, since we started with the non-licensed stuff, or since they were gracious enough to let us use their music,
sure,
my God, every band we play is good. Even the ones with the dumb names. Like I got the new release from I haven't sent it to you yet, but the new release from the band Space Vacation.
Vacation, okay.
That might be the gayest name in the history of heavy metal, Space Vacation. But their fucking album kicks ass.
Yeah.
It's just really good stuff, man. So I'm liking the music that we're playing, and I like that Starblind band a lot. And I obviously like Signal 30 a lot, so but it's funny, while we were playing music there, I was negotiating and I bought another fucking piece of art.
You did? What did you buy?
The picture that I just put in the chat room right now, the Roger Waters one.
Okay.
Roger Waters canvas.
Oh, so the one you were talking about earlier.
Yep, that's it, and it's on a canvas, and I have to have it. So Joe hit me up saying, hey, thanks for coming out and, promoting on the show or whatever. And I was like, dude, you got to work me a deal on this fucking canvas.
Right.
And he worked me a deal. I was like, okay, I'm buying it. Sold.
Very good.
So I will have that on the next time you visit this way. You'll see my Roger Waters canvas displayed prominently somewhere in my living room.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's huge. It's 24 by 36.
Yeah, it's a poster size.
Big old canvas. But it's a canvas, not a flat.
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, it's poster size because majority of some of the bigger hangings I have here in the CMS studio are 24 by 36.
Yeah, I got to go get myself some better frame. I have some posters that are down because the frames, because I'm a dick, really. I bought these great posters. You remember my friend Bear from ClevelandRockandRoll.com? And he sells all the vintage posters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Prints. He sold me these great fucking posters. I mean, they're really, really good. One of them is Kiss. It's Kiss opening for Journey from or vice versa. I think it's the other way around. I think it's Journey opening for Kiss in 1975. just this great poster. Another one is Roger Waters at a show I was at, which was Roger Waters in 2010 at the Q.
Okay.
And the final one was another show that I was at, which was the Metallica Blossom show that I hated. I hated the show, but it was Metallica Days of the New and who was the third? And Jerry Cantrell.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was two that I was at, and just this one that I thought was kind of cool, Kiss with Journey, which I just thought was interesting. So I bought these posters. Bought these really vintage posters. They're really, really nice. I need to have them framed up nice. I go to fucking Michael's, which is like a hobby place where you can buy frames and shit like that.
Sure.
And I buy the most cheapest fucking shit frames. And I don't even know what I was thinking. I mean, it's those kind that have like it's not even like a real frame. It's just like a big piece of plastic and a piece of cardboard. And then all four
sides
quote, frame pieces
they pull off. Yeah, each one is just a plastic, almost like a long clip.
Yes,
yeah.
Just plastic shit. And of course, what I didn't realize, why would I think that a fucking $4 frame wouldn't be good? But so I put them all in these frames, and these fucking frames, all of the pieces started bowing.
Yeah.
They all started bowing, and then the plastic started bowing, and it started, fucking with the pictures.
Yeah.
Or with the posters. So I took them all down so the posters wouldn't be fucked up. But I want to get those back up in my house because I really like those,
Well,
And
if these posters are something that you think are worth spending the money on, here's a little tip for you.
All right.
Go to Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
They have a framing department.
Oh, and they'll frame it
and you can actually, well, they could do it for you, but you can actually just go buy the pieces. These are aluminum frame ends.
Okay.
And they will cut actual glass, not plastic, but glass.
All right.
And they will cut you a piece of glass that will fit within the frame, and you can frame them up. And all of my posters here in the CMS studio, I bought all the frames at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
And framed them up, and they're actually under a glass, not a plastic.
See, I need to do that because I want the stuff to look cool, and I'm finally at a point, I guess. I'm finally far enough post-divorce where I just want to get rid of some of the bullshit that I kept, I think I went to the Goodwill and bought some shit for my walls, just because Georgetta took all the fucking stuff off the walls.
Sure.
And I didn't have anything. I just had these blank walls. So, and some of the stuff that I have on my walls is just trash. It's like a fucking bad eagle with a U.S. flag and shit. I mean, it's so trailer trash that I can't believe that I actually put the shit up. But I had to put something up.
Right.
So I bought some of this shit, and I have it up, and I have another one in my kitchen. I'm looking right now in my kitchen. I have this picture of a beach with a house on it. I have no idea why I have this picture at all.
It just filled the space.
But it's not even a good picture. I mean, it's some kind of painting, but it looks like it's so. If I'm not saying it's ugly or whatever, but it doesn't fit me.
Right.
Rock stuff like that Roger Waters thing, that fits me, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's much more me. So I need to really concentrate on doing that, and especially where I got a guy that fucking takes all these pictures. For God's sakes, Joe will do it for me on the cheap where I can have really fucking high-end stuff without paying, thousands of dollars for it.
Sure.
So I think I'm finally going to get to that point. I think 2018 is going to be the year where I slowly but surely get rid of all this horse shit that I bought in 2012 just to and I hate to sound like a spiteful douche, but I'll just be honest. As she took stuff, I replaced it that day, just so that the next time she came in the house, she would be pissed off that I fucking replaced shit that day. And I mean, I was a total dick. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's what divorce is, isn't it? Who can be the bigger asshole?
I guess.
And literally, one day, she was in the house, and I get a text from one of my sons saying she's taking the microwave today. So I called her, and I said, hey, how big is that microwave? I'm over at Walmart now buying a new one.
Right.
Just to be an asshole.
Sure. Go ahead and take the used one. I'm going to go get all brand new stuff.
But I was totally just being that kind of an asshole.
Sure.
And it was literally, and then it was like the whole things about money, and it was like, how come you have all this money when before we didn't have any when we were married? I was like, well, now I don't have to worry about feeding you.
Right.
Hey metalheads, tired of waiting for new episodes? Crave the real raw classic metal show? For just $4.99 a month, you can become a CMS VIP. You get every episode a full week early, completely uncensored, and 100% commercial free. It's the only place to interact directly with the show, plus you score the Fast Pass, so your song requests get bumped straight to the head of the line on every live version.
So what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now at classicmetalshow.locals.com and become a CMS VIP today.
Just a dick. You know, I'm not going to, I won't lie and say that I was the good citizen in the fucking divorce wars either. I was a dick too. You know, no question about it. Once I got angry, I may have been all fucking heartbroken enough to write a book, but I was pretty pissed too.
Well, Demon said that could be a new country hit song. She's taking the microwave today.
It could be. And then if they sing it at Mandalay Bay, I deserve to be gunned down.
Right.
Jesus. Yeah, divorce, not fun, but whatever. That is in the past, my friend.
Yeah. Well, something else that's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Bach singing with Skid Row.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was in the,
I didn't know. Is he out of the band now?
Yeah, he's out of the band.
I was unaware. How'd that happen?
Yeah. Well, apparently last year or earlier this year, Sebastian Bach had talked about the fact that there were discussions at some point that he would rejoin the band.
Right.
And then things fell apart because either he talked about it too much or too early.
Sure.
And, whatever their negotiation were, it just didn't work.
Right.
And they said, you know what, we're just going to slug along here without you.
Right.
Well, apparently Snake Sabo talked about how the discussions broke down.
Really?
Yeah.
He shared. Wait a minute. That's a Sebastian thing. Isn't Sebastian the one that always tells everything that he should just keep his fucking mouth shut for?
Well, he did. He already let that cat out of the bag months ago, but now Dave, the Snake, the founding member,
right,
of Skid Row, kind of confirms that we were talking.
Okay,
and this is what happened.
Let me guess. On the Eddie Trunk Show.
Well, yeah, that is true.
I figured.
Yeah. Skid Row guitarist Dave Snake Sabo has once again shot down the possibility of a reunion with Sebastian Bach.
All right.
Saying that the chances of the singer coming back to the band are slim to none.
Wow.
Bach fronted Skid Row until 1996 when he was fired. Instead of throwing in the towel, the remaining members took a hiatus and then went on to play briefly in a band called Ozone Monday. In 1999, Skid Row reformed after a bit of shuffling over the years, featuring a lineup consisting of original bassist Rachel Bowling and guitarist Sabo and Scotty Hill, alongside with drummer Rob Hammersmith and singer Johnny Solinger.
All right.
Skid Row fired Solinger over the phone on April of 2015. A few hours before announcing ex-TNT vocalist Tony Harnell as his replacement. 8 months later, Harnell exited the band and was replaced by South African-born British bass singer Z.P. Thart.
Right.
And who previously fronted Dragon Force, Tank, and I Am I.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
So during an appearance this past week on the Eddie Trunk Show, Sabo confirmed that there was definitely dialogue that was going back and forth, and there was talk last year that possible reunion with Bach.
Okay.
I think everybody was entertaining the idea, he said, and I think really what it ended up being was that we realized that whatever it was that tore us apart years ago still existed.
Why can't he just say what it was, that they hate Sebastian?
Yeah.
Why can't he say that? Especially if he's making an announcement that they're not getting back together. So just say it. We don't like him, so we can't deal with him.
Yeah.
Say it.
He's a handful.
Yeah, he's a handful, all right.
Or as Jim Norton would say, he's just a silly goose. We got offered a lot of money, he continued. There was a lot of stuff that had been said about what happened and the tours being booked. That didn't happen. Tours were not booked. Any offers that came in through to me and Rachel, because it's our band, there was a good amount of money being offered, and then the dialogue that went back and forth, it got ugly again.
Oh, no.
So it always boils down to the money, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
What do you mean you guys are taking 3/4? I'm Sebastian Bach. I should get at least 50%.
Right. So he's saying that it was a financial thing, or it was not?
He said that with the dialogue that it went back and forth, it said it got ugly again.
Okay.
So, whatever negotiation they were trying to work out, it wasn't good enough.
Right.
According to Sabo, the disagreement between Skid Row's core members and Bach about a possible reunion had nothing to do with money.
Nothing.
That's what he said.
All right, good.
I'll tell you straight up. No one was making that the way this is written is not right. No one was more than anybody else, he said.
Okay, you missed the word what at the beginning.
Yeah. That was one of the things that we said. Rachel and I and Scotty, we are like, this is easy from a perspective. I'm going to sit there and do it any other way. It was more about control. Other people having a desire to have more control over this thing than we were willing to give.
Right.
And it was not about anything other than this in our band.
Okay.
All right. This is not ego driven. I promise you, Sabo reaffirmed it wasn't about me making more money than you or you making more than me. Right. It wasn't about that at all. I guess it was the personality conflicts that existed before 20 years ago, and there still is.
Right.
So I kind of lean your way. We just don't like the guy.
Yeah, they don't like him. They cannot fathom doing 6 months on a bus with him. That's what it is. They can't, and either they just don't want to, or it's not lucrative enough to do the Motley Crue thing, and and just get different buses and not deal with each other except for that hour on stage. Yeah, and it's probably they can't afford to. I mean, do you think Skid Row is going to get the kind of money where they could have separate buses?
No, of course not.
I can't think that could happen.
Nah. But you are correct in your assumption there as to the discussion when host Eddie Trunk pointed out to Sabo that Motley Crue managed to complete an 18-month final tour while traveling on separate buses.
Oh, me and Eddie.
You
Great
and Eddie.
minds, alike.
You guys are in sync.
Yeah, look at us.
And not the band.
No.
And they were barely speaking to each other. The guitarists respond, yeah, but they were miserable. They were all miserable. And see, that's the thing, man. I don't know. I guess I look at it differently. I really like my life. I really like being happy. I have great joy playing with Skid Row music. Not to say that I didn't before, but in this moment in time, I'm extremely happy. My life is awesome. My friends are awesome. The people I make music and jam with, they're all awesome. And so I've got to say, yeah, the idea of romantic notion of the reunion and the monetary aspect of it all and is all well and good. But at the end of the day, man, I really enjoy the space that I'm in.
Okay.
So
in other words, I hate that guy and I'm not going to make my life shitty to play with him.
Yeah. And who else does that sound like?
Who?
Don.
Don?
Yeah.
Don and George?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could go out and make a lot of money with George and Jeff and, be the original lineup. But, I like my band and I like the way things are. And, I don't need the hassle. I'm at peace and content right now.
Now, let's play this out, though. Do you think if Skid Row got the Dokken offer, they would do that?
It's hard to say.
Week.
1 week? Maybe. I don't know.
I would think they would probably do the 1 week. And just be like, yeah, go make the money and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
As the song goes.
Yeah. I just want to be a good guy. I want to be a good husband, a good father, a good friend, a good brother. The way that we existed towards the end after Subhuman Race and when everything fell apart, it was misery for everyone. Not just me, but for everyone.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep. Despite his lack of interest in being in the band with Bach again, Sabo will not completely rule out a reunion with the charismatic singer. I always never say never, Sabo said. I guess that's like my way of not committing to saying no, it will never happen. The chances of it happening, I mean, I would say they're slim to none, but I will never say never. But I will say this, in this day and age, we live in the moment, man. I mean, I'm living right here, right now in the moment, and I love having ZP in the band.
Well, good. Then keep on playing to 120 people a night. Have at it.
Look at that. Look at those memes in there. Nobody wants a fat lead singer.
Now he is a fat lead singer. He looks bad, man.
He does. He does. I mean, he's probably hitting the alcohol pretty hard. He's got that alcohol bloat.
You think that's what it is?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't look very... It's weird seeing him fat. And he's not chunky. He's fat. He's gotten fat. And Lord knows I'm the last one should call anybody fat. But, he's not Chris Aiken fat, but he's gotten fat.
Yeah, well, he's got the alcohol bloat.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Right. All right, Eddie, we get it. You've seen the Sebastian porno. We get it. We don't need to keep seeing it.
Yeah. Sabo said he looks back on all the periods of Skid Row fondly. I'm so proud of everything that existed between 86 and now, he said. A lot of people, if they're in a similar situation like we are, we have a new singer and a new drummer, and we've had for a while, they tend to hide from their past and almost brush it aside. I embrace it. I'm so proud of what we created in the 5 original members. We had a period of 9 or 10 years that was furious and crazy and awful and amazing, and every objective you can come up with. It burned brightly and then it died out. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it happens. It happens to athletes. It happens to artists. It happens to bands. It happened to us, and we burned out. So when Rachel and I and Scotty started, we took a couple of years to do Ozone Monday. That was like a bridge gap, and we wanted to play those Skid Row songs again. We just didn't want to put the band back together as its previous form was. And so for us, it wasn't about the money. It never has been.
Okay.
So he's basically saying it's about the happiness.
Well, that's good.
But if you're set, I don't know what these guys' financial situation is, but apparently they're making enough to make it worthwhile.
They can't. Well, Snake could possibly be set, but I can't imagine that those other guys have money. Do you?
It's hard to say.
I mean, Snake, because he's managed Down and he manages other bands and stuff.
Yeah, and he works with Doc McGee, so.
Yeah, so he's probably okay, but I can't imagine that Rachel Bolan has any money. I mean, how much money could they have made with Skid Row?
I can't imagine, being it was over 20 years ago.
And it was first 2 albums, which means the record company probably made all of that.
Sure.
And they had a lot of videos and stuff, so that all had to be recouped. It was I would imagine if they made any money anywhere, it wasn't until like Thick Skin, once they got off of Atlantic. And then how much money could they have made from Thick Skin?
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't money on the actual record. It's obviously the performance. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
I mean, g'day, guys. Is Sebastian Bach that much drama? This whole
Yes.
thing just doesn't make sense.
Yes, he is not an easy person to deal with.
It's tough to interview.
He's
not-
He
he's
was
not-
very
he's-
cool to me when I met him.
Well, you just met him for what, 2 minutes, 5 minutes at the most, but you know.
I know. You're right.
But if
you're right.
if you talk
You're
to the
right.
guy, his ego is as big as the room.
Yeah.
Let me explain
But,
it.
I mean-
Hold on, Tim. Let me tell a story, and Neely, you can jump in on this because I'm telling a Neely story, so I'm giving it third hand. And by all means, Neely, jump in because you were there and I wasn't.
Right.
But you and Rock and Randy
Yes.
met Sebastian at the Agora, right?
Well, we did, and then we went down to a show at the Alrosa Villa in Columbus.
Right. But I want to focus just for a second on the Agora thing.
Okay.
Because when you met now, for anybody that's listening that doesn't know, Rock and Randy is a handful at a show. Fair?
Yes.
He is very much a handful to deal with on his own accord. But the difference between him and Sebastian are like the same guy, except for Randy does not have the ego. Randy's always been very, very down to earth, even admitting that his own band stinks. True?
That is true.
But you put him in a room with Sebastian, and it's all kinds of weird handshakes and you go, mother trucker, and no, you go, mother truck. I mean, they are obnoxious together.
And they love weed.
And they love weed. Oh, my God. So, at this show, I'll tell my story, then you tell the rest of the story, Neely. When I got there, my friend is a guy named Billy Morris, who was in Warrant and Quiet Riot and blah, blah, blah. And he was in a band previously called Kid Wicked. And Sebastian had his band that night thrown off the bill because he had played in a band, 10 years earlier, called Kid Wicked.
That's correct. But this was in Canada, right?
Yeah, in Canada, never here in the States. So, but he would not let Billy's band that sold tickets, no less, they sold like 100 tickets. He wouldn't let them play on his stage because they were, quote unquote, stealing from his legacy. That's the words that I heard straight out of his mouth, that they were stealing from his legacy.
They were capitalizing on his legacy.
Right. So because of that, I ended up leaving. I was there. I don't think you and I even knew each other at the time. Or maybe we did, but peripherally. But I left, and I know that you ended up like on the bus with them or something.
Well,
Is that right?
that was at Alrosa.
Okay, well, tell that story from there.
Well, this was after I think that you hooked.
What year was this?
This was like 98.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 98.
Okay. So this is around Bring 'Em Back Alive.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was during exactly that tour. It was during the Bring 'Em Back Alive tour.
Yeah.
And so Randy and I drove down to Columbus, Ohio, which is about a 2-hour ride from where we were living at the time. And Randy had interviewed Sebastian via Chris's magazine, Music's Bottom Line.
Right.
And I don't know how he did it. I think it was through the magazine or the fact that he got put on the guest list or something. Mm-hmm. And he asked me to go with him to this Sebastian Bach show. And we went, and after the show, we went back and got on Sebastian's bus. And Randy, being the guy that he wants to accommodate everybody or, get in good, he brought his bag of weed
Right.
and offered it to Sebastian. So Sebastian and Bam Bam McConnell, who's no longer with us, and I think Richie Scarlett, who played with Ace Frehley, and Paul Crook, who played with Anthrax at
Richie
one
Scarlett
point.
still plays with Ace Frehley.
Do what
I
now?
think he still plays with us.
Well,
I
at
think
the
Ricky
time,
Fowler
he
still
was.
plays with us,
Yeah, well, he was playing with Sebastian at that time.
Okay, cool.
And so we were all on the bus, and they're blazing up and smoking weed, and just like what Chris just described, Randy and Sebastian are back and forth with their weird handshakes and mother trucker and, cool and rock and roll and woo, that kind of shit.
But it's nonstop. And that's the thing. It's not like they were playing. That's really who they are. And Sebastian, from my interactions with Sebastian, which are many, and I like Sebastian. I've not had
I don't have anything bad to say about Sebastian, but I've hung out with him on 3 different occasions.
And he's always that goofy, fake 80s tough guy thing. I don't know what you even call that.
But the thing is it fake, or is that who he is?
I think that's who he is.
That's who he is.
He's
I know.
on 11 all the time.
Always.
Yeah.
Yo, metalheads! You ready to let the beast out of its cage? This ain't just an album. This is Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast. The riffs hit harder. The bass thunders deeper. Dickinson's voice rips your soul in half. Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name, the title track that made Eddie immortal. Every track sounds like it's straight from the devil's own amp. Crank it to 11 and feel the power that defined heavy metal. Don't walk. Run to the link at the bottom of the screen and grab this beast right now before it sells out.
Dude, I interviewed Sebastian once at a, Neil, do you remember? He called, but he called from like a diner or something.
Yes.
And he was fucking screaming. He's in a diner. You literally hear the plates and shit shuffling around behind him. And he is just screaming as loud as he can. I said something. It was on the what's the one? Angel Down record.
Right.
And I told him that I thought the record was great. And he's like, that's mother trucking rocking, that you got great mother trucking taste. And he's just like loud as fuck. And the waitress comes over to him and tells him he has to stop yelling. And he's like, I'm going to be loud because I'm talking to my fans. I have to dig that out because I have that on tape somewhere. He has to be loud because he's talking to his fans. Meanwhile, he's in a diner somewhere. Sebastian is a trip, man. He is interesting to hang with, to say the least.
I just think the whole thing's. I mean, the whole thing's nuts. They're just pissing on their own legacy, though.
But they don't.
Right.
They don't care. At this point, they don't care. They obviously are making. I mean, whatever they're making enough that they don't think that they make enough doing what they do now to think that the big payday just ain't worth it.
Well, I mean, the thing is too. You've got to realize. I think it's true to say, and I'm shooting in the dark here, but I remember that I don't think in that band Sebastian wrote a lot of stuff.
He didn't write anything, did he?
That's always been a point of contention, that basically saying that Sebastian didn't write any of the songs.
I think it was Rachel and Snake, if I'm not incorrect. Is that right?
Yeah. That's the rumor, but Sebastian has always said he just didn't get credit for it. But, which, who knows what's true or not? I mean, to be fair to Sebastian, he's written 3 albums and they all sound like Skid Row to me. So, I don't think he's that bad.
Well, that's true. But the point being that publishing would be worth a lot of money, probably.
I don't think so.
So, you don't?
Nah,
Skid Row's not one of those bands that gets. I mean, they don't really get played on classic rock stations, do they? Maybe 18 and Life a little bit.
Yeah, they had 2 big records, 2, and that was in the late 80s, very early.
89 was 89 and 91.
Right.
That's right.
So They basically had two big records over a 3-year period 20 some years ago.
Yeah, 30, whatever, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, we're not going to take it. Still makes a lot of money.
Okay, but that's an iconic song. But the difference is we're not going to take it. It's played at every football game, every basketball game, every baseball game, every sporting event in the United States. And Skid Row does not have that song. I mean, the only one that gets any kind of love at all for Skid Row is 18 in Life, I think. I mean, you don't even hear Youth Gone Wild on like classic rock or anything, and you don't hear Monkey Business.
What about I Remember You? Wasn't that was monstrous?
Well,
it was monstrous then, but it doesn't get any play now.
That's the thing. That's kind of where it's at, Tim. Again, this is 27 years ago.
True.
And they're not iconic songs that like AC/DC, Back in Black, or or I Wanna Rock, or something like that gets played at, like what Chris was just saying, sporting events and things like that. Every time that gets broadcast over TV or at a big sporting event and stuff, those guys get paid.
Yeah, but they're not that band, you know. To paraphrase the song itself, most people don't remember Yesterday. You know, they don't remember walking hand in hand with Skid Row. They just don't. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to slag on Skid Row at all. All three of the records, the three with Sebastian, I love. Absolutely love them. Play them all the time. Still, big fan of them. In fact, my least favorite would be the first one, to be honest. But
technically there was 4.5 because there was a covers EP as well.
That doesn't. I don't count that shit. You know, I don't count that. But what I'm saying is those songs. I mean, the place to look is classic rock radio, because that's where those kind of bands, if they're either played all the time in sporting events, or they're played all the time on classic rock radio. If they're not on those two, or the third platform now would be TV commercials. And if your songs aren't turning up on any of those three mediums, you're dead as far as making money goes, you know, in today's world. And Skid Row, none of their stuff stayed. You know, they were great for the time, but that time changed and they fucking were pushed right the fuck out.
See, I think a Skid Row reunion would be worth money.
It probably is, but it's not worth their sanity to the other guys in the band. That's exactly what Snake was just saying. He didn't say it in the harsh real terms, but what he said was, there's no amount of money you can pay me to fucking spend 6 months to a year with Sebastian Bach. That's what he said. No, yes or no, Neely?
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
Yeah, he said that they were offered a lot of money,
but it's not worth my sanity to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and Sebastian has been on board from day one about wanting to do it because he wants to get paid. He sees his, you know.
Does Sebastian Bach really need the money, though?
Yes.
Don't you think?
What do you think he made? What do you think he made his money doing?
Of course, being in Skid Row.
No, but he didn't, because those first two records, first of all, they were signed to what? A development deal? Weren't they signed to a development deal through Bon Jovi?
Yes.
So they didn't get paid from the first record. That money all went to Bon Jovi and his fucking company. You know, and Atlantic, and then Atlantic did all those videos. Tim, you gotta look at it as a business, not as I love these bands. As much as I know you love those songs and Youth Gone Wild and I Remember You and Big Guns and all that shit, think about it like a business. They did 3 or 4 videos. Hold on, Tim.
Okay.
They did 3 or 4 videos for those songs, off of the first album. They did at least 2, if not 3 videos from the second album. You know, they did Monkey Business, and they did Slave to the Grind.
Slave to the Grind, and
probably In a Darkened Room or Quicksand Jesus or one of the ballads, because ballads were hot at that time. I don't remember which one.
There was about 4 or 5, I think, actually.
So let's just say 7 videos. And they toured the world relentlessly for 18 months each album. And they were played on MTV every other minute when they were hot. So all of that stuff that they did has to be paid back. It was all paid up front by the record company, and then it has to be what they call recouped. So any sales that Skid Row had went to Atlantic Records to recoup for the videos and the tour support and the MTV airplay and the radio station airplay and the publicists and the photos and the articles in all the magazines and everything else. They didn't make any. If anything, they didn't make money until the third album, and that third album tanked.
Well, you forget that. I mean, you probably don't know this, but I've actually studied music business and taught it. So I do get this stuff. But surely, what I'm saying is, surely they would have made money on the live circuit. And also, back then, I didn't think videos were recoupable. I thought that or there was some point that videos weren't recoupable, and then that they became recoupable at some point. So it depends. It depends when videos became recoupable.
Well, dude, knowing 100 musicians, I'm going to say that when Skid Row was out at the end of the 80s, they were recouping.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we've had Don on the show talking about how they fucking were recouping forever on their videos, on their bad videos. And they made bad videos that were cheap. I mean, if you've seen Breaking the Chains, that video couldn't have cost $35 to make. That fucking video is terrible. Skid Row always did, knowing how Skid Row was, when they did the 18 and Life video, they probably rented out a prison and had it emptied out so that it would look realistic for fucking $300,000 just to get the prison that they wanted. I'm sure they didn't just build a set.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit off topic, but I remember Motley Crue's manager saying to me, because they had a relationship with him for about 4 years.
Oh, yeah? What kind of a relationship, Tim? What, did he have a big dick?
I wouldn't know that.
You wish you knew.
I never asked. But no, his name's Jeff Varner, and now he manages Slash. He's that guy. But he was saying to me, and I was young, and I wanted to move to LA, and blah blah blah. And he's saying, I would never sign with a major record company again. He said they are the kiss of death. Yeah, and I've never forgotten that. I mean, he's basically the reason I haven't bothered with any of that shit.
Yeah, because
not that anyone.
Yeah, is that the reason, Tim?
Well, and probably because no one would sign me anyway.
Yeah, that's more like the truth, Tim.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I don't deny shit. But it's just not worth it, because they just, especially with these 360 deals now, it's fucking terrible. They want a piece of everything.
Sure.
It's insane.
Well, Tim, the era is over. I think we've talked about this a million times on the show. The era of making money in music, aside from being a touring act, that's over. Yeah,
you have to do it because you love it now.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you want to continue it, I've realised you have to be smart. You have to set up your own studio or whatever, and do your own stuff, and release it digitally, and do it so it's not costing you any money. Because,
hey Tim, somebody just put in a picture of you in the chat room with a shirt that says "I love cock." Do you really own that shirt?
No, they've made that shirt up.
Oh, are you sure?
I can show you my clothes cupboard if you wish.
No, that's okay. You can show it to your manager since he's telling you got to go.
Although I wouldn't be opposed.
Jesus Christ. Tim, would you let Louis C.K. jerk off in front of you?
Who's that?
The comedian. Forget it. Never mind. It would have been a good joke, but you ruined it. Your manager's really calling for you now, Tim. You got to go.
All right. I'll hang on for those books, Chris.
All right.
Rally kill. Fuck you, pal. Blowjob.
There goes Tim.
There he goes.
Boy, he loves his bands, doesn't he?
He's all in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Skid Row made any money off those first two records.
I can't imagine. I mean, aside from the touring,
yeah.
As far as selling records and making money from the music, I can't imagine that they made anything.
But they were not this, and we've done this before, they were not this huge fucking touring band either. They were not a 15,000 seat band every night.
They were an MTV band that left an impression with you.
Yeah.
But they were never a headliner. They never were a big arena act.
Right.
I never saw them headline an arena.
I never saw them headline an arena. The only place I ever saw them headline was it Slave to the Grind when they took Pantera out on Vulgar?
And you could almost call that a
co-headliner.
Yeah, a co-headliner.
But that was at Rhodes Arena. What is that?
Yes.
3,000 people?
Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah. That was 3,000, maybe 3,500 people at the most.
Yep. I was at that show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
It was Anthrax, Pantera, and Skid Row, right?
No,
that was when Sebastian was solo.
Yeah, that was Sebastian solo. It was 1990, probably 2. It's before I got smoked. I know that.
Right.
And it was Skid Row was the headliner with Pantera opening, and Pantera had just released Vulgar. So it was like, for me, I was there to see Pantera, and Skid Row just happened to be there too, which was cool. But look, Phil Ooze talking about a Paris show. They played for 6,000 people. So that's, they were not Guns N' Roses. They might have opened for Guns N' Roses, but they were not Guns N' Roses. They always were like an opening band.
They have been. I saw them open for Aerosmith.
Yeah, and I saw them with Aerosmith. I saw them with Kiss. I saw them with Pantera, where Pantera was the headliner, like the next time around. I did see him headline that one time with Pantera, and I saw him headline on the Subhuman Race tour with it was some horrible band. It was like one of the worst bookings in the history of the world. It was at Nautica, and it was Skid Row with, I think the name of the band was Steel Pole Bathtub. It was just fucking retarded.
Okay.
It was Skid Row and Steel Pole Bathtub.
All right.
So bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when Sebastian was out solo, that's when I saw him with Pantera and Anthrax.
Yeah. And they were always good. They were always good live. I won't take that away from them. I saw them once with Guns N' Roses, and in 91, maybe 92, whenever Use Your Illusion came out.
Yeah. 91.
And they smoked Guns N' Roses. I mean, they absolutely smoked Guns N' Roses. They came out and they were doing that. They were doing Slave to the Grind, and they just fucking destroyed. Ripped through, and then Guns N' Roses had a 2.5-hour fucking equipment changeover.
Right.
Back when when Axl was much more of a cunt than he is now. That was annoying as fuck, dude. It was on a Tuesday night, and fucking had to wait till midnight till they hit the stage. It's like, you fucking jerkwad. I was not happy. We actually walked. We walked out on Guns N' Roses.
Hey, you can only sit around waiting for so long.
Yeah, well, work starts at 6 and the fucking show doesn't end till 3, and it's an hour drive back. It's like, hello, dickhead. Maybe some of us do have to work.
Yeah.
Fucking cunt.
Very nice. So anyway, the snake.
Yeah, the snake
says, I'll never say never, but at this point, slim to none.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah. Not interested.
Right.
Want to watch the Classic Metal Show on your big screen instead of your phone or computer? Now you can with the Rumble app. The Rumble app is available on most smart TVs and streaming devices. Just download the app, open it, and search for Classic Metal Show. You'll instantly get access to all the latest episodes on demand. Plus, catch the entire live broadcast every Saturday night and watch exclusive live-streamed events as they happen. Download the Rumble app today, search for Classic Metal Show, and subscribe now. The Classic Metal Show. Metal. Talk. Streaming live and on demand.